Chapter 3. Royce Fang. Royce. Somehow we ended up fighting with nobles that we don't really know, and we are going to challenge the labyrinth without Aniki. If I say honestly, we were always being watched over and we feel uneasy since Aniki is not here. Nei-chan also feel the same. She always turn her sight many times to where Aniki usually stands and sighs secretly. Nevertheless, Nei-chan fills up Aniki's role by giving her various instructions. Thanks to that, we did not stop and proceed into labyrinth, and we finally arrived at the 8th floor. Here is 8th floor, isn't it? How's your condition, both of you? Emilia. I'm fine. I have enough remaining mana too. Reese. I don't have any problem too. Royce. Although, we were assaulted by golems and traps until we came here, we were able to break through everything without any problem. Anyhow, only one trap was installed in the corner, and even some golems that attacked us at the same time, and they didn't come to near to 20. There was a trap for every 2 to 3 steps forward, while 50 traps appear if compared to yesterday, so this was easy. This is an easy victory, Nei-chan. Will Aniki praises us if we clear this first? Royce. Stop being careless, Royce. Hey, watch your step. Emilia. Oops, thank you, Nei-chan. Royce. I withdrew my step, which was going to be embarked forward slowly, and made a detour around the spot that may had a magic formation. It was made really well done, because there was nothing visually. You know it well, Emilia. But I still don't understand it at all? Reese. If you watch Serious Sama, you will be able to do it. Emilia. However, I don't understand some more about that one. Besides, does Royce-kun understand it? Yeah, Tilda, I am somehow barely able to do it. Aniki explained that it is because of my intuition. Royce. I don't understand it myself, but my heart throbs when I see suspicious parts and dangerous things which can't be explained by words. Even though Aniki said that intuition is important, I was told not to rely on it too much. That is the true strength when using experience and intuition properly, and it is difficult, and I do not really understand things that had been said. But because what Aniki says is absolute, I imagine I must not stop thinking about it. That's it for chit-chat. Come, Emilia. Leave it to me, Nei-chan. Royce. When I walked while thinking, a lot of golems appeared in front of us. Although there were more than 20 this time, there won't be a problem because of our coordination. Emilia. Aqua shot, Reese. The golem formation is destroyed in one go by both Nei-chan's magic, and I act viciously by jumping in there. Though I might fail to cut magic formation, which was the weak point yesterday, and I finally realized that it was good to return back here where I slash the golems. It seems that thought was right. I could defeat all golems in one blow now. When my hand didn't reach the golems that appeared from behind, Nei-chan threw knife over there, and Risan's magic would not let any golems come close. As for Aniki, let alone golems, I think he wouldn't let a mouse run past him. I can't do that, since I still have long way to go, but someday, surely, I want to become strong to protect an important person like Aniki. Now, this is simply and generally about me not letting them to get past behind me by beating down a lot of golems. This is the end. Royce. The last golem crumbled down by my sword and became extinct. I realized I sweated a lot as a result of using too much strength, but Nei-chan held the towel immediately. Here you go, Royce. Your pace has been slipped off for a little while, be careful. Emilia. Thanks, Nei-chan. But, I don't want to let my Nei-chans to face enemies even a little. Royce. You fool. Doesn't Serious Sama always said to understand properly the extent of what you can do? It becomes rude not to use the remaining disposition since we can fight too. Emilia. That's right, Royce-kun. I want you to depend on me a little because I am training too. Reese. Nei-chan, Risan, I'm sorry. Royce. That was dangerous, I was barely forgetting the basics. After all, I forgot immediately when Aniki was not here. When I defeated golems and proceed earlier, stairs were found immediately. Next was 9th floor, and according to story from classmate, they said that there would last trial. We came here finally. Next is only to clear the last trial. Amelia. I wonder how is it going to be. Royce. I wonder if a iron golem instead of a sand golem going to appear this time? But since I can cut rock if I use sword, I can defeat it easily with Nei-chan's backup. My stomach grumbles when I go down the long stairs while thinking so. I always get hungry recently. I want to go back home soon because I want to eat Aniki's dishes. Fufu, Royce-kun, you never stop moving. Though there is beef jerky, do you want to eat it? Reese. Is that all right, Royce? Of course. You must keep your physical condition in perfect condition. Reese. Royce, drink water too. Reese also. Amelia. Yes, Royce. They are sometimes scary but they are gentle nevertheless. When I finished eating beef jerky, we arrived at 9th door. The traps did not exist and golems did not come out on the 9th floor, it's merely a winding passage that continues on. We turned to the right and left many times, and we finally exited to a very spacious hall. Yesterday, Aniki said that we are going to meet other parties here, and I really understood the reason clearly when I came here. After all this, there are several number of entrances. Opening parenthesis question mark closing parenthesis. After all this, there are several number of entrances. Opening parenthesis question mark closing parenthesis. After all this, there are several number of entrances. Opening parenthesis question mark closing parenthesis. After all this, there are. This is strange because there are many passages like this. All the parties that entered from the entrances should arrived here. All the parties that entered from the entrances should arrived here. Many passages were extended to the wall of the spacious hall. We were walking while admiring the place and we sensed signs of life in the center of the hall. Wait for us, Royce. Amelia. We were waiting, Amelia. Reese. She's picked up fight with us, what was that? Anyway, the nobles who challenged us for a match stood in the middle of the hall. I thought those nobles were in the same party but they were in separate parties. As for the servant who were used to fight us and got beaten easily, is it not strange in particular? Such being case, the hall had a great number of people since there was our party, 2 parties of nobles and 4 adventurers too. I thought you to come. However, we seem to be slightly earlier. Opening parenthesis question mark closing parenthesis. However, we seem to be slightly earlier. Of course. Aren't there 6 of you? As a matter of course, we are 3 people and those guys have 6 people including 2 adventurers for each party. Those 4 adventurers in particular, they were wearing a robe covering the whole body. I feel that I dislike them very much. Employing adventures is allowed according to Labyrinth's rule. There's no reason to call it a fraud. Merluza. That's right. It's bad but since we came earlier, I will move on beyond this point. Heart. What did you say? You should go quickly. Royce. Oh? Don't you guys know? Heart. What is that we don't know? Royce. HMMPH, it's pitiful that you're going to lose without knowing anything. Alright, with this, Heart Arcade will explain it to you personally? Heart. Mind your own business. Although, I wanted to say it, and Nei-chan also thought about it. She kept her mouth shut. How should I put it, is that man's name Heart? I barely remembered him. You will arrive here no matter which entrance you enter for this labyrinth. And then, the path towards 10th floor is beyond the door over there. Heart. Heart was not pointing at the direction of the path but to a door which seemed heavy and firm. That door, was extremely unlikely to be cut by my sword. The last trial is carried out inside it, but there is a mechanism to prevent adventurers from doing the trial. Heart. Therefore, we're going to attempt it with nothing but our ability from now. I wonder, will you able to understand that? Merluza. Then, what about the adventurers? Royce. Of course, we employ them only to arrive here early. It is because only one pair can go in for last trail. Heart. It is first come first serve. They were prepared by Gregory Sensei, but it saves us a lot of trouble because they were excellent. So the turn is like this, first is Heart and second is me. And then, the last is you. Merluza. If I don't tell you anything, I will not be giving the sense of defeat to you guys. I want to feel nothing but victory. I don't need anything other than that. Heart. Huh? Are you stuck with something? That is what Ne-chan thought too. She appeared in front of nobles to ask question. Please wait a minute. Do you not have any demand from us if you win? Emilia. What can you get from commoners? What we want is pride from reputation called victory. Merluza. That's alright if we win. Well, if we do lose conditionally, I guess we'll listen to you for anything, just once? Heart. We were annoyed because those two laugh loudly. That is, I am not worthy for Aniki because I was provoked and I didn't decide on anything when I accept the match. These guys only want to gain victory from us. What should we do if we lose? And what a letdown since I accepted this match diligently. Now that you understand, we will go ahead. It will be over soon. You should just wait anxiously for my victory while doing nothing. Heart. Heart was going to go to the door with his servants, but one of the adventurers stood before them. What is this? I have very bad feeling at last. What are you doing? Since your contract is until we get here, just go away quickly. Heart. I want to get the reward. Opening parenthesis question mark. Isn't that after the trial is over? Heart. That's right. You're a hindrance to Heart-sama. Heart's servant. I'm tired of babysitting. Opening parenthesis question mark. I'm tired of babysitting. Opening parenthesis question mark. I'm tired of babysitting. Opening parenthesis question mark. I'm tired of. I jumped reflexively and kicked Heart's back hard. Something was swung at that instant, but Heart's servants were merely standing. Therefore, I'm going to get the reward. Your face covered with despair and your scream. Next is your life, right? That cold-hearted adventurer was talking happily while taking off his robes, and before our eyes, the servant's hands fell down. Heart's servant 1. What is this? Heart? Hands. My hands. Heart's servant 2? Screams of the servants echoed in the hall. With that as a signal, the other adventurers threw off their robes too and attacked the female nobles. That's right. It is time for lecture. Opening parenthesis question mark. It is time for lecture. Opening parenthesis question mark. It is time for lecture. Opening parenthesis question mark. Scream loudly, please entertain us. You should be destroyed. That was hell that I saw once. My village, friends, family, it resembled a nightmare scene where everything was done. The female noble's servants were killed, tear and crushed by the adventurers. And then the remaining female noble was. This. I ask Blade of Wind. Merluza. She was chanting determinedly, but the servants who protects the female nobles were not there anymore. Of course, the adventurer was going to attack her who was defenseless. Oi, is this case of carefree chanting? Airshot, Emilia. The female noble was blown off by Ne-chan's airshot, and she was barely saved before a weapon was swung down. However, she had no room to go easy as expected. the female noble was blown by a terrible force and she became struck. I was also the same because I kicked hard and I didn't go easy on him too, he completely fainted at slightly remote location. Hey? You're very good in spite of being children. Opening parenthesis question mark closing parenthesis. You're very good in spite of being children. The adventurer who attacked Heart's servant was smiling happily with sword in his hand and looked at us. He seemed to be gentle at a glance, but just about everything are spoiled when looking at servants' dead bodies all over the place. I stood in front of Ne-chan and drew my sword. Who are you guys? Royce. Huh? You don't know us. Don't you know after seeing this tattoo? I'm sorry, but I am not interested in anything else except a certain person. If you don't mind, may I ask question? Amelia. Ne-chan asked slowly on purpose. Anyway, Risan's face was pale and she was closing her mouth after cowering down at the back. Although we could bear with it because we have similar experience in the past, the scene earlier was a bit too much for gentle Risan. Either we escaped or fight, we wanted to earn time until Risan recovered even a little. The adventurer answered Ne-chan's question by showing red tattoo modeled after dragon, smiling to other three persons while spreading his hands. That's great, it has been a while, since people are just running away these days as soon as they know of us. Should we introduce ourselves? Adventurer. This guy is speaking like a human race, not a beastkin since some time ago, and this was my first time seeing that tribe. The appearance was humanoid but the body was covered by snake-like scale here and there, the head grew with angle, and he had tail similar to lizard. But the eyes were the most interesting part. Despite of expressing gentle smile, it looks like it's harboring a dark and deep feeling. It was scary. That's not it, I really couldn't see what's being kept inside him. Then if it's not like that, he won't kill a person happily. I serve as the leader of guild party, Dragon's Fresh Blood. I am called Goran from Dragon Tribe. And this wolf-coon here is Ash. He's a rare golden wolf tribe, you know? Goran. Our silver wolf tribe and golden wolf tribe are in same group, the appearance only differs on hair part which from silver to gold. But the lifestyle is truly an exception. The Silver Wolf tribe takes a good care of family and friends, and stay in a group, but the Golden Wolf tribe is an isolated tribe which throw families out when they grow up to a certain extent. They possess very strong combat capability but the numbers are scarce as expected with that way of life and this tribe is rarely seen. When Aniki knew it at that time, he said that it is exactly like a lone wolf. The other adventurers were introduced by Goran. Ash, who was a golden wolf tribe with large build, smiled ferociously and he was looking at us. That's good, you guys are really excellent. It does feel good if I cut flesh. Ash. Not yet, Ash. Self-introduction is not over yet. And this dwarf uncle here is Ed. He's very strong. Goran. HMMPH, it's enough for me to beat these brats alone. Ed. The dwarf's back was not too different compared to Aniki, but he carried heavy-looking shield and rustic axe around easily. The shield in particular was big as it covered the whole body and I think that I couldn't break it with half-hearted attack. And the last is Romeo's from the human tribe. He's a great magician with double attribute of water and earth. Goran. Nice to meet you, Beastkin and human tribe's children. Romeo's. He bows politely while letting his long green color hair loose. In a glance, he could be seen as a polite young man but he had that ugly and crooked mouth. That is it about us, Dragon's Fresh Blood. Though it's very short time, nice to meet you. Goran. Very short time, why is that? Royce. While I talked, Ne-chan and Risan felt that those guys' position became a blind spot for them. I prepared my sword in advance, and my alertness was not loosened a single bit. Eh? Of course because you will die immediately too, you know? We like to kill people. Goran. Isn't that a crime? I have one more question, why is that person is here? Emilia. Ne-chan was trying to gain more time while stroking Rhys-Anne's back. I didn't think they would answer, but their leader, Goran, talked delightfully. That is because Gregory invited us to play at certain town. I can kill a lot of people. Therefore, despite coming here seriously, the first thing we are allowed to do was babysitting, I endured it halfway, but I couldn't do it after all, and I did it unintentionally. Patience is bad for one's health, is it not? Goran. But this wasn't very bad conversation. Even though they are children, they are special. Aren't you really happy? You're right. It makes me want to sing with good voice. Goran. The master takes out his hand. It's my game, Ed. Is it Gregory again? To invite guys like this, that person never really do good things. When I remembered that bastard, Goran thought of something and clapped his hand. That's right. Killing them easily is also good, but I want to hear their scream that is full of despair after all. Is not all right to have time for strategy meeting if they are going to fight us? Goran. That bad behavior came out again. It's fine if we fight quickly. Opening parenthesis question mark. It's fine if we fight quickly. You're thoroughly reluctant as well, is it not an extreme look when trampling on everything? It can't be helped, let's follow leader's opinion. Opening parenthesis question mark closing parenthesis. Because of that, we just spend a little bit more of our time. While we were dumbfounded, the dragon's fresh blood guys sat close to the wall and began to take a rest. It's obvious we were being made fun, but we were really grateful right now. Nevertheless, I didn't stop from being cautious, and I looked back at Ne-chan and Rhys-Anne. Are you alright, Rhys-Anne? Royce. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm already fine, Rhys. Although we have requested aid through the pendant, let's stop thinking that it will come immediately. Emilia. Right. They are certainly stronger than us. Royce. I was thinking of Aniki and his teaching. About seeing through a strong person. It's a teaching to ascertain strength in comparison with oneself from various points of view, including their appearance too. How to put out target's presence and thirst for blood. Aniki said that it was difficult if I don't piling up experience, but I could understand it the unpleasantly of this dragon's fresh blood, guys. We're not as good as Aniki, but we do understand things above us. Aniki said I should escape without question if I meet opponent that is stronger than myself, but I don't feel like running away from these guys. It is hopeless, even Emilia and Royce-kun? Rhys. A single person is manageable if I'm fighting together with Ne-chan, but it is impossible with 4 persons. Royce. Then, let's escape. Can we escape if I use my aqua mist, Rhys? When hear about escaping, I looked immediately at the noble that was blown away, turned back immediately and shook my head. We're similar with our opponent because there is Golden Wolf tribe which is sensitive to a smell. They will give chase immediately even if we run, and in any case, it will be over if Ne-chan and Rhys-Anne are caught. Royce. Then, are we going to fight? Rhys. It is harsh, but we don't have any other choice other than to fight. Rhys, you're the only one to escape. Emilia. Yeah, I want you to tell Aniki. Royce. I don't agree with that. Rhys. Rhys-Anne's face was pale and she was still frightened with fear, but she gripped her fist and rejected our plan. I will regret if I escape from here. Do not disappear all the way because you will hurt my feeling. Rhys. Do you want to die? I am scared. I don't want to die. But, even so, such things like leaving you both, I absolutely don't agree. Rhys. Rhys was looking at us while shedding tears. Although I wanted to run away, we became warm-hearted when Rhys-Ann won't concede for the sake of Ne-chan and me. So, I'm going to fight too. I want to go back home with everyone. Rhys. Thank you, Rhys, let's go back to Sirius Sama together. Anyway, let's start over and work out a strategy. First, I think we should reduce the number of people. Emilia. Who should I aim for? The standard strategy is to aim at leader, but it was just said that he is from Dragon Tribe. Since Rhys can't hold or suppress the Golden Wolf Tribe, will my knife go through? Emilia. It was written in book that the body of Dragon Tribe was very tough. Maybe I could do it with my sword, but I must suppress other opponents while confirming whether Ne-chan's air slash was efficient or not. I'll do it, Royce. Rhys? Emilia. As for me, I can do it. Sirius San taught me that what I can do. Rhys. You mean that? If it's that, it certainly is. Royce. It is surely so. But Rhys, are you going to charge onto the main enemy? The need for you to go that far as in facing risk. Emilia. It is same if I lose in anywhere. If that's the case, let's pick method even with smallest certainty. Rhys. Rhys-Ann's body is trembling a little, she's barely able to stand up already. Nevertheless, her behavior is firm, the person herself stepped forward and going to give support. I nodded with Ne-chan, we put our hands on Rhys-Ann's hands. Thank you. We entrust everything to you. It's alright because Royce and I will get ready for your way. Emilia. I'll protect Rhys-Ann's back. Royce. Yeah, good luck, Rhys. We were not sure how to respond to the display of bravery by Rhys-Ann. Because of that, the strategy is Emilia. Nevertheless, Ne-chan had become really strong. Perhaps it's natural because she and I always ran together after Aniki's back. But right now, Ne-chan was only pretending to be strong. I noticed when I put my hand a while ago, Ne-chan's body was trembling. The tail was hanging down too, because mine was hanging even when I was relaxed. Even so, I didn't have any other choice but to do this. For the sake of returning back to Aniki. I hammered the strategy that Ne-chan thought about into my head. Those guys turned back after finishing their battle preparation. Do it slowly, okay? Well then, whatever kind of fight you will show us, it is going to be fun. Goron. He smiled as usual and he was waiting happily, whatever we were going to do. You'll see, we're going to wipe that laugh off immediately. Please. Aqua Mist, Rhys. First, block the field of vision with Rhys-Ann's magic. At the same time, with Rhys, magic, Ne-chan and I began to run and aim at our respective opponents. That's the plan. The opponents whom I supposed to suppress were both Golden Wolf Tribe and the Dwarf. We had a perfect view of the opponent's figures with the help of Rhys-Ann, even though we're in a dense fog which couldn't be seen through. I invoked Boost, and I began to attack the dwarf first. Flame Knuckle, Royce. What, Ed? I hit the dwarf with Chantless Fist of Flame since there was no need to hide the Chantless ability. The opponent held shield at once while being surprised, so my assault was prevented. However, my real purpose was not to defeat him but to draw their attention. The dwarf man retreated while staggering by the shock that happened from Fist of Flame. Is it that brat? Opening parenthesis question mark question. Is it that brat? Opening parenthesis question mark question. Is it that brat? Opening parenthesis question mark question. Is it that brat? Opening parenthesis question mark question. Is it that brat? Opening parenthesis question mark question. Is it that brat? Opening parenthesis question mark question. Is it that brat? Opening parenthesis question mark question. Is it that brat? Opening parenthesis question mark question. Is it that brat? Opening parenthesis question mark question. Is it that brat? Opening parenthesis question mark question. Is it that brat? Opening parenthesis question mark question. Is it that brat? Opening parenthesis question mark question. Is it that brat? Opening parenthesis question. Is it that? Sensing the smell by the explosion, the Golden Wolf tribe man attacked me and I stopped his attack by swinging my sword. This Golden Wolf tribe didn't hold a weapon, it seemed that his fighting style was by using his physical body. His nails was stretching strangely and he even received my attack unperturbed. Damn it, was the opponent superior even when I strengthened the attack by boost? You should stop such childish trick. I ask. I won't let you do it. Emilia. Nei-chan faced the human magician who was going to chant beginner's class wind magic. She brandished her knife and disappears into the fog, but the surprise attack was avoided. Fufu, don't think that I am weak with close-range combat, since I'm a magician. Romeo's. I don't want to do it together, but I agree. Emilia. Fast. But the trajectory is completely exposed by fog. Romeo's. Nei-chan seemed to be alright, but I was very unlikely to hold longer. The dwarf movement was slow and I was somehow able to manage, but the Golden Wolf tribe was unexpectedly fast and strong. Move, Ash. You're in my way, Ed. Shut up. It had been said that this guy is my prey. Ash. What's with these guys? Opening parenthesis question mark close. I am grateful that these two are quarreling, because I am struggling. After all, cooperation is important. We drew opponent's attention just like that and Rhys-an moved around quietly from the side while drawing near to Goron unnoticed. Hey, interesting magic, isn't it? I can't see anything. Goron. That carelessness can be fatal. Opening parenthesis question mark close. That carelessness can be fatal. And then, Rhys-an made a big step towards Goron's proximity and invoked special magic. I ask everyone. Aqua Cutter, Rhys. That was a blade of water which Aniki devised, it was a splash water with a great force and it was a great magic that cut anything like lump of iron or even rock. Aniki said spirit magic was simply reliable because it holds enormous power. It was said that the magic should be able to cut even solid bodies such as the dragon's tribe. Rhys-an swung down at Goron while hurling small thing from her hand. The opponent moved his body immediately, but it was too late. Goron's arm and leg were cut by Rhys-an's magic, he fell down on the floor without being able to support his body with his remaining limbs. This is, Goron. I aim at your head next. I want you to stop this. The others must stop their action immediately and leave. Rhys-an pretended to be tough desperately by pointing her hand, but her body trembled a little. No wonder Rhys-an trembled, because it was the first time for her to cut such things like flesh. She was disturbed because she did not understand Goron, who was trembling while holding his laughter. What is so funny? Return quickly, Rhys. No, I wonder if this is your first time to cut a person. Goron. Goron picked up the cut arm by using left hand without minding at all and attached the part which has been cut from his body. It's been a while to have such injuries in battle. Though both my hand and leg were cut at that time, I did not think being attacked by a girl like you would be possible. Goron. It can't be, Rhys. Although the arm was cut and removed certainly, let alone the attached arm was coming alive, but the finger moved just fine. Were you surprised? Although, I am from the dragon tribe, but it is a bit of a different species, and their resilience is great. Hey, even the leg is like this. Goron. AAA, Rhys. Next, the leg also got the same treatment, he stood up immediately and looked down upon Rhys-an. Rhys-an was completely overwhelmed by thirst of blood before her eyes and she didn't seem to be able to move too. She became unable to preserve mana and the dense fog of water has disappeared too. Tilda, that is good. That expression of despair. By the way, I have to say thanks because I was cut. Goron. Goron wielded sword while having a smile, but Reese couldn't move. Even if I wanted to try helping, I was in a state of not able to run from these two people. Ha ha ha. Play with me with some more, or rather yet. Goron. Brat, look at me. Opening parenthesis question mark question. Brat, look at. Damn. You guys move. Rhys-Ann. Royce. I ward off those two attacks and I moved towards Rhys-Ann with a resolution to accept the blow, but Goron's sword was already swung down. Reese. Emilia. Nei-chan jumped in. Rhys-Ann was blown off by ram attack and Nei-chan caught the sword swung down with her knife, but she couldn't hold it off. There was a limit for a knife to deflect a sword's trajectory. Nei-chan rearranged her broken posture and tried to counterattack. What a nuisance. Goron. Goron's was faster. Nei-chan received a kick and she was blown off. There was no moderation, it was a kick with the intention to kill. Nei-chan was blown off and crashed into the wall with the back of her body. She fell on the floor and couldn't move. Nei-chan? Royce. Emilia. Reese. I am running while Rhys-Ann calls Nei-chan's name. I was looking at such scene with nothing but to be dumbfounded. Are you kidding me? Nei-chan is. To such guy? Are you looking away? Opening parenthesis question mark question mark. First, are we going to get one hour? Shut up, Royce. Shut up, Royce. Shut up, Royce. Shut up, Royce. I transformed at that moment. My body grew, hair was growing throughout the body, and power runs through whole body. The sword was unbelievably light. I swung sword down on the Golden Wolf tribe with full force. I completely stopped the sword which was swung down until a while ago and I blew away the opponent. I was about to cut the dwarf, but he took a guard stance when he sensed my transformation. Do you think that you could break through my defense? Ed. Royce. However, when I swung my sword without minding it, the dwarf's shield and my sword emitted roaring sound reverberating inside the room. The body of dwarf rise together with his shield because of my sword and he fell down on his back a few steps away. Despite of the tremendous impact, my sword and the dwarf's shield maintained their shape. I can do this. As for this power, I can fight those guys. I sealed this form because I didn't want Rhys-Ann to see it, but it's fine already. I underscore these guys quickly and go to Nei-chan's location immediately. Che, although you receive blow from the front, what kind of brute strength is this? And to think you are really a brat. Opening parenthesis question mark closing parenthesis. And to think you are really a brat. Please be careful. I can see the movement of mana from that child. Maybe the mana's supplement is applied to physical body. Oh. Do you use boost with that kind of age? Do you use boost with that kind of age? He is called Cursed Child. What an unbelievable boy. Ash. Cursed Child? What is that? Cursed Child can transform like this boy. It is a story passed down in our wolf tribes. They will be killed since the Cursed Child will bring misfortune if they exist. Ash. Is not he alive? Don't say a lie. Opening. I don't know to this extent. Anyway, it is slightly troublesome. Whatever they say is not my concern. Soon underscore do it. Then, shall we do it? It can't be helped. It can't. The silver hair brat still stays, so let's target that kid first. Good luck. I will get that blue hair girl later. I felt nothing but unpleasant when hearing those guys talked. I used boost with full power and charged at those guys. Look at me, I'm here brat. Ed. I swung down the sword because the dwarf who held the shield stepped forward, but the shield was held slantingly, the sword glide along the shield and it only dig into the floor. It is easy to deal with only merely incredible strength. Ed. My attacks were tackled by the shield as it is and I received surprised attacks. However, the attacks were blown away maybe because the damage on this body was little. Damn, it's only a little painful. I can still do it. Hey, your beloved Nei-chan is trembling in danger. Opening parenthesis question mark closing parenthesis. Hey, your beloved Nei-chan is trembling in danger. Opening parenthesis question mark closing parenthesis. Hey, your beloved Nei-chan is trembling in danger. Opening parenthesis question mark closing parenthesis. Hey, your beloved. When I turned around to that voice, the Golden Wolf Tribe man was walking. When I turned around to that voice, the Golden Wolf Tribe man was walking towards Nei-chan who had collapsed. Rhys-Ann whom stayed close to Nei-chan was busy recovering mana and she didn't realize the situation. I must protect them. Do not get close to Nei-chan, Urish. Royce. I kicked the floor with all my power to run to the Golden Wolf Tribe man. I caught up with the man who was few steps away from Nei-chan and slashed at him but he jumped to the back while having a calm smile. Even though he took it by nails a while ago, why would he avoid it this time? My intuition barely felt it and I had to forcibly turn around the moment I thought about it. Beginner class of earth magic, rock bullet. My chest was covered with lump of rocks that came flying. I guess the magic was coming from the magician in the back, but since I couldn't avoid it in this situation, I shook it off by using my sword. I had no choice but to kill him. Despite slashing downwards every time, it is impossible right now since I had to shake off the magic. There was no choice but to kill him in the first try. I can do it, now I can do it. It's here, Royce. My sword seized, rock bullet, with perfect timing and it broke into small pieces. As for this form, killing human was not difficult to that extent but I did not notice since my concentration was high. There approached a rock bullet from behind and there was another one incoming. Rather than one shot, he fired 2 shots. I was convinced I would be done with this because I was no longer in condition to swing a sword. However, maybe I could avoid it barely if I jump and twist my body. But, it was unavoidable. Because there was Nei-chan at the back. The lump of rocks sunk into my chest. Shock from the attacks that went through the iron breastplate and sound of something breaking from the chest can be heard. I was blown away without being able to endure the shock, crashed into the wall and fell on the floor. I was still conscious. But there was unbearable acute pain running through my chest and I spit out blood from my mouth because I coughed reflexively. My transformation was undone when I noticed it. Royce-kun, Rhys. When I raised my head at the voice, she looked at me while crying. It was good. You were safe, Royce. Stop talking. Water, please, Aqua heal, Rhys. The pain on the chest had been relieved a little bit by Rhys-Ann magic. But, Rhys-Ann's face was pale while having a lot of sweat. That was the sign of mana depletion. It's already fine, Rhys-Ann is going to lose consciousness. Royce. You are in worse condition. If I don't treat you even a little, you will die. Rhys. Her breath was rough, Rhys-Ann seems to collapse at any time soon but she didn't stop her magic. Nei-chan fell down near at me, and the Golden Wolf Tribe man walked over here while laughing. AAA, was not it already impossible? I did my best. Even if I lose consciousness as it is, I thought Aniki would surely come to help. And when I wake, Aniki and Nei-chan look at me worriedly. But, what if Aniki doesn't make it in time? If I fainted, Nei-chan will be attacked. I don't want that. I absolutely don't want that. Why did I decided to become strong? This was because, in order to protect Ne-chan. I would rather die if Ne-chan is going to be attacked. AAR. Royce. I stood up. Risan was surprised, but I walked without minding her and stood in the ways of Golden Wolf Tribe man. I heard that the Silver Wolf Tribe appreciate their family, but this is more than what I expected. What can you do with such worn-out body? Ash. Shut up, come and fight me. Royce. You simply don't have energy. Ash. My hair was caught forcibly and I have been lifted at same height with that man's face. I was somehow remembering. During the days of slavery, my hair was caught and I was beaten whenever I said something impudent. Though I cried and apologized at that time, I was different then. I have fangs. Ugga, Royce. Wah, Guar. Ash. I bit his arm. Even if this letting me turn towards my sense, because Ne-chan and Risan they were fading away from my eyes. Damn it. Let me go, brat. Ash. Goo, Royce. Do you think I will let you go? Even if I am very miserable, even if I am ashamed, I will survive. I will return to Aniki with everyone. This bastard, Ash. I was hit on the face with his vacant hand. I rolled on the floor and came back to Ne-chan's place again. Amelia. Amelia, have you woken up? Reese. When I shifted my sight, Ne-chan weakly forced to open her eyes and called me. I'm glad, she's alive. I'm really glad. Please stop, already. You have done enough. Amelia. That's right. Take a rest because I will do something. Reese. Stop it. Will my resolution get dull if such gentle thing is said? Hey, that guy was coming again and this time with a very angry face. Come. Because I will bite you again. I will bite you, no matter how many times. Until my fangs break. Bam bam bam. The movement of everyone stopped due to roaring sound that echoes suddenly. When I pay more attention to the direction of the sound, there were innumerable holes on the wall next to us. Those holes were drawn like a circle and the wall seems to be knocked down completely. No, it was really going to be knocked down. I cried. For anyone to do such thing, I know only of one person. What is this? Something is coming. The wall was knocked down the moment when Gorowan's group were cautious and something jumped out. The wall debris flew into their direction and barged toward us and to face the Golden Wolf Tribe who was approaching. Who are you, Ash? The Golden Wolf Tribe man punched reflexively but it was avoided easily. His leg was swept under and destroyed his balance, and he received a roundhouse kick and was blown away. That person rearranged his posture and he exposed his back before us. My vision became dim and even I started losing consciousness. I could see the back of that person clearly. The back of the body that I always longed for, I can't forget that. Our favorite? Ani, Ki, Royce. You endured well, Royce. Serious.